interesting films. We had Badlapur. Close on the heels of that, we had Dum Laga Ke Haisha. We had NH10 right after, and there was Hunter, which is just released, which is also has strong word of mouth, which people seem to appreciate it. It's a great time to have this conversation, and it's a great time when this question sort of becomes relevant. You know, are we ready to declare that Bollywood is finally formula free? Because these films are not formulaic films. These films have broken some sort of mold. But are we rushing, if we were to say, based on these 4 successes, or based on the response to these 4 films, if we were to say that indeed we've broken formula, indeed we're formula free, are we rushing that? Do you feel like that's too soon? And it's what you said. You said that it's a ripple. It's not a wave just yet. I want to get your opinion. I want to get all your opinion on that. You feel it's too soon to declare it a trend?
I don't know, I think I would like to thank the World Cup for that. You know, the medium and small budgeted films, which are more content driven, I think they're coming to the fore because there are no big releases here. And back to back, the 4 so-called content driven films did really well. Started with Badlapur, then Dum Laga Ke Haisha, NH10 and now Hunter. I've liked all the films and they're doing pretty well. There was no congruent area in between. They were not stepping into each other's shoes. The genres were completely different. And again, as Arjun said, the audiences have matured a lot and it has really helped. Timing and the maturity of the audience, and of course, top everything is the content.
I think, of course, it is a bit early to start assuming that this is the only way forward.
Right.
But I do believe that this is a good direction to catch on to. It's very difficult to kind of encompass the fact that, okay, there's a phase going on right now where we've not had a commercial success for a while. But that's also because I feel like commercial films have not been capable of delivering. They've not been very, very entertaining, engaging, including a film that I did which was not successful because there is a sense of fatigue from the audience in terms of the genres that we've explored commercially. Suddenly there will be some commercial films that will also do well towards the latter half of the year. There will be lots of them, I'm sure, I hope, otherwise the industry cannot function. Those films also have to do well for these to get made. I mean, Varun Dhawan cannot do a Badlapur unless he has a Maitreya hero and Hampi Sharma happening a year before. So it is interrelated. But that's where the choices of actors is important. And Anushka does a PK knowing she wants to do an NH10 somewhere in between. A Phantom is making many other films so they can make a Hunter in between also. You have to, that balance, for me it's about finding the right balance. The audience will come and see it on merit of what they like. At the end of the day, you cannot predict the audience coming in for what kind of films. We should keep experimenting, you never know where you land up. But it's very, very encouraging to know word of mouth exists. You know, there was a phase where people thought कि सिर्फ first day पे जो देखने गए वही देखने गए. It's nice to know that a film can play in the theaters more than a week. There was a huge phase in between where I had lost belief कि 1-2 हफ्ते से ज़्यादा चलती है picture शायद. That's the encouraging sign for me that people still go on a weekday to watch a film. It's not so much about अरे आज सिर्फ family को लेके जाते. It's about we've heard good stuff. Let's go see it and we'll form our own opinion about it. That's the encouraging sign that the audience is coming into theaters based on awareness and likability of a film.
Yeah. You know, I'm going to ask a question to Bhumi. Bhumi, it's something we spoke about earlier off stage. You asked whether, we were talking about Dum Laga Ke Haisha, and you said it was a great role, and you said that any actress would have done it because it was a great role. And I really want to open that out. Is that really a role that any actress would have done?
Arjun, I like how you're looking at me as any actress.
No, I think
you're not in December.
I think of you as, as the seasoned one in this, on this table.
Yeah, I'm a thespian according to Tahir. Considering me and him made our debut together, he has called me old, but he was not Purana. Sorry.
Do you feel like, do you all feel like that was a part that any actress would have done? My personal opinion here was that I don't know how many established actresses currently working in the business would have taken that part, although it is a great role, we know it now, we've seen the film. And also I don't know if someone who was aspiring to be an actress, aspiring to be the next Deepika Padukone would have wanted to do that part. I'd love to hear what you have to say.
You know, the way I look at it today is that people know actors today want to push themselves. They want to do new things. And that's why I told you that, yeah, maybe any actor would have done it because it definitely is a very big challenge in itself. And today, again, as I even spoke about the kind of exposure we've had, like, the kind of television I watch or the kind of cinema I watch, I am encouraged to do new things. things. As an actor, I hope even my next film is someplace. It's not only about a physical transformation. There's a lot more that goes into your character. And I feel if you remove, even if you keep her weight aside, Sandhya in itself was penned down so well that I definitely think any actor would do it. You know, just transferring yours. For me, the biggest challenge was not the weight. For me, my biggest challenge was how do I turn the Bombay girl in me, how do I turn Bhumi into Sandhya? Okay, because I'm from Bombay, I've lived here, I haven't been to Rishikesh or Haridwar many times. That was a challenge for me, and I feel definitely any actor would do it because today people want to do exciting work. They always want a rush. So definitely, at least my take on it is that for sure.
I've always thought that Bhumi's character, in fact Sandhya's character in Dam Laga Ke Resha, had to be a newcomer's zone. Because that person, the actor, had to come without the baggage. And, you know, she needed to be cute, vulnerable at the same time, and attractive also. Being overweight, of course, weight was part of the character of the film, I think. But she had to be vulnerable and cute at the same time, and a newcomer could have, you know, given a lot to the table. And Bhumi did a spectacular job with that.
Also, perhaps if it was in fact an established actor, the conversation possibly would have been only about the weight, and it would have turned out to be just a gimmick, perhaps, and not look at the whole film. But the truth is, you know, it's true for all the three of you and the films that you've done. I mean, whether it's Vicky Donor, whether it's making your debut, you know, as a villain in Mardani, or as you spoke, Arjun, about making your debut in a film like Ishaq Zadeh. I mean, you know, Tahir, you said, you know, you don't use the word struggle, but you've been trying to be an actor for 5 years before you made your debut. Could you have done this kind of film 5 years before Mardani came out?
I think my character in Mardani, again, like we've been crediting the audience so much, has a lot to do with the kind of TV shows that they've been watching. Internationally, if you watch a lot of stuff at the moment, what's in vogue are grey characters, or characters who wouldn't be characterized as your typical, I'm talking about Kevin Spacey in House of Cards, or even Matthew McConaughey. You've got, you know, or Breaking Bad, the show that the character in Mardani was called Walt from Walter White. So I don't think 5 years ago, before this Netflix wave had started off, an audience would have been ready for what you now call an anti-hero.
Yeah. Arjun, do you want to add to that?
I think they've stopped looking at it as the hero-villain dynamic. You know, that's pretty much as simple as that. It kind of, I won't say broke, it's just the transition happened where there's a sense of likability to seeing somebody who's vulnerable and not being able to... See, my character was vulnerable and he was impressionable, so he made wrong choices.
Right.
That does not define him as the archetypical villain who's a megalomaniac who wants to dominate the world. There are characters who make choices and he has a consequence. His mother dies in the film. So you're seeing a journey. There are reasons, there are logics, there are emotions you feel even with that character. So he's not a two-dimensional villain designed for hero aake marega. He's a character who has reasons for being the way he is. He was literally the guy who was banished from his family. He lived in a room. He wanted acceptance from his family. He gets slapped. His ego gets hurt, and he decides to take revenge so he can get into his political family zone. He's only thinking from his personal selfish point of view, which people understand now. So the character, people understood why he did something wrong.
Right.
So there is a sense of, you know, if I met this guy, I might not like what he's done, but I understand where he came from.
Right.
So, like I said, the relatability has increased over the course of time, and the characters are much more defined. It's not just a kutte mein tera khoon pee jaunga kind of villain that's
Right.
happening.
The stereotype.
Yeah, so that helps. The characters are layered.
I also thought, you know, sometimes you are selfish as an actor and sometimes you're selfish as a star. If you're selfish as a star, then I think you'll think about how likable I look for the masses. And if you're selfish as an actor, you'll always think that, you know, what kind of opportunity is this for me to establish myself as an actor? You know, I think if we prioritize the actor in us before the star, I think we will cut the mark. We'll always crack the code.
And it's not only the negative so-called. Like, I'll tell you something which there were a few people who came up to me and had this conversation when I agreed to do 2 states. And when it released, there was a sense of, I mean, but you didn't have any Delhi one in you. Your entire family was North Indian. And I was like, but that's not how everybody in Delhi talks. So I made a choice of not sounding like, kuch nahi hota, dekh lenge, khaiyo, piyo, jaiyo, because I wanted him to feel and sound different. So he's not just his mother's son, he's a person on his own. Because the mother anyways was very Punjabi. So you also make choices as an actor to kind of segregate your characters that allow audiences to feel, okay, this is a different person. He's not just another character you've seen in some other film. And even for that matter, like he said, if you're not selfish, like I never realized two states. I'm not playing the conventional Hindi film hero. I don't take the girl and run away. He's not a rebel, but all that worked because the character was correctly defined by the director and he executed it very nicely. So that was a nice learning experience. A lot of people said, "Arey yaar, isme gaane kitne?" And I was like, "Honge yaar, 4-5." But the thing is, the journey was very interesting, and his choices as a character were very interesting. That is what makes it interesting for the audience also today.
But I think people in TV institutes, they don't talk like Ayush. You're playing a nerd in that, man.
Exactly. So, but the thing is,